MrBeast is suing MrBeast Burger for $10 million. Who's really to blame for these disgusting MrBeast Burger? Ugh, gross.
In 2022, MrBeast Burger was being paraded around like a masterclass in creator capitalism. Blink and suddenly it had thousands of locations, over 2,000 worldwide, appearing almost overnight like a fast food magic trick. No kitchens owned, no real estate headaches, vibes and delivery apps. The headlines went crazy. People were tossing around numbers like hundreds of millions in annual revenue. Fans were crowning it the future of fast food and the flawless. A YouTuber, a global restaurant empire without touching a single brick. Honestly, it felt genius. But jump ahead to 2025 and that empire is hanging on by a thread. Most of the locations have vanished. Behind the brand is tangled in an ugly legal showdown with MrBeast. What once felt unavoidable is now basically invisible, reduced to a handful of zombie listings and one lonely spot inside a New Jersey mall. What was marketed as a revolutionary food model now reads more like a cautionary tale that unraveled almost as fast as it. And here's where it gets interesting. There wasn't one massive scandal, no dramatic implosion. The collapse in slowly, quietly, and then suddenly it was everywhere. To really get how MrBeast Burger went from viral to walking corpse, you have to roll all the way back to December 2020. The world was shut down. Restaurants were barely hanging on, small businesses were shutting their doors left and right. Meanwhile, delivery apps were having their moment, and people were starving for anything new or entertaining. Then MrBeast drops a video where he opens a restaurant that literally pays people to eat. Free burgers, cash handouts, even cars. Casual. It was loud, chaotic, generous, and perfectly on brand. And right in the middle of that, he announces MrBeast Burger. Instantly, hundreds of locations go live. Not one city, not one state, the entire country. Then the number explodes into the thousands, spreading internationally. And that's when people started asking the obvious question, how do you open the restaurants overnight? The answer wasn't real restaurants at all. It was kitchens. Instead of building locations, partnered with a specialized in virtual food brands designed to entirely online. No dining rooms, no signs out front, just apps and packaging. The system was pretty simple. Existing restaurants already listed on delivery apps would add the MrBeast Burger menu. They cooked the food, you provided recipes, slapped the branding on the bag, Uber Eats, DoorDash. MrBeast brought the name and the massive audience. Cooking, handled delivery. On paper, absolutely flawless. Restaurants that were struggling suddenly got a lifeline. Extra income during a brutal stretch. MrBeast got instant nationwide building and during lockdowns. Fans felt like they were supporting their favorite creator just by ordering for a while. It actually worked. Orders poured in so fast that apps lagged. Social media lit up, and timelines filled with style burgers and overloaded fries. The hype was real. The momentum was insane. Everyone was winning. At least on the surface. Money followed quickly. Reports claim MrBeast Burger pulled in over $100 million in sales in just a couple of years. Business YouTubers blueprint for no one was asked questions yet. No buildings, no massive overhead, just speed, scale, and non-stop hype. It looked touchable. But here's the problem. The exact thing that made it grow so fast is what quietly tore it up. When you don't control the kitchen, you don't control the product. And food isn't merch. Once the excitement faded, reality showed up at doors. Customers started actually burgers that looked nothing like the promo photos. Wrong orders. Missing fries ice cold and soggy. Buns smashed. Cheese barely melted. Some people even realized their meal came from a random gas station kitchen they'd never heard of. Suddenly, every order felt like a gamble. One customer got some, the next line in, and the worst part, most people didn't even understand what ghost kitchens were. They didn't blame the random restaurant making the food. They blamed because his name was on the box. Then TikTok poured gasoline on the fire. Videos went viral showing sad textures and meals that looked like they'd survived a natural disaster. People started joking that ordering burger felt like opening a box, and once that narrative stuck, the damage was done. Some days you got food, other days you got straight up regret. As influencers started pulling up the ghost kitchen model, things got uncomfortable fast. Some kitchens were dozens of brands at once. One grill, one fryer, 10 menus, zero loyalty. In some cases, even health weren't fully sure which brands were operating out of which addresses. Quality control at that scale basically non-existent. And MrBeast knew it. When flagged him in bad orders, he didn't hide. He replied, he apologized, he refunded people, he openly admitted something wasn't working. He even tightened delivery ranges in certain areas to complaints. It mattered. But here was the real problem. He didn't own the kitchens. He was locked into a running the operation, and that deal capped how much control he actually had. He could push back, could say sorry, but he couldn't just shut down overnight, so instead they tried something else. In 2022, they rolled out the one solution that actually worked: a real restaurant. The first MrBeast located in Dream Mall, and it was absolute chaos. Thousands of fans showed up. Police had to control crowds. Bands were handed out just to keep things from spiraling. It felt less like a burger joint and more like a attraction pretending to be a restaurant. But here's the wild part. That location actually worked. Location changed everything. A dedicated kitchen, staff trained for one menu, consistent branding, full control. Reviews were mostly positive, and even businesses reported the food was actually solid. The experience felt fun, immersive, like to a real-life MrBeast video. And that restaurant? It's still open. That deal says everything. Beast controlled the entire process. The brand worked. When it was scattered across hundreds of kitchens, it absolutely didn't. And by mid-2023, it's showing in public. Fans of MrBeast deleted the video. Someone asked if Burger was done, and he replied that moving on to other projects, including Feastables. The ghost kitchen model made it impossible to guarantee, and even hinted he'd a bad deal. Those tweets didn't stick around for long. They disappeared fast. And that's when it became obvious. Lawyers were already in the room. Then came the nuclear option. MrBeast filed a lawsuit against the company operating MrBeast Burger, accusing them of serving low-quality food and prioritizing rapid expansion over brand integrity. The message was crystal clear. He wanted out. Completely. But the story didn't end there. Within, the company fired back with a massive countersuit worth over $100 million. They accused him of defamation, claimed negative reviews were only a small fraction, and argued he was trying to bully his way out of a contract. And suddenly, surreal, was suing to shut down his own restaurant. The company running it would keep using his name. Fans were still ordering burgers. It was a wholesome project. While behind the scenes, it was all lawyers and chaos. At the same time, the entire industry was starting to fall apart. People were over it. Mystery food from mystery kitchens and cute real fast. Delivery apps were flooded with brands nobody recognized, regulators couldn't keep up, and one by one, ghosted without saying a word. By 2024, rolling into 2025, most MrBeast Burger locations, ghost listings left behind, haunting the apps. The New Jersey survived for one simple reason. It was real, himself as the Don, and the brand slipped into a strange limbo, technically alive, practically dead. And the lesson here is brutal. This burger didn't fail because people hated MrBeast. It didn't fail because the idea was bad. It failed because food can't be scaled endlessly without control. Quality beats trust, it's hype. And when customers feel burned, they don't come back. MrBeast moved on to products where he controls everything. Physical packaged food, places where quality lives or dies with his team. Beast Burger now is the clearest example how even the smartest creator empires can collapse when speed outruns structure. It worked at first. Reputationally, took a hit. Strategically, it's remembered less as a revolution and more as a warning sign. So what do you think? Did Beast work for you? Or were you one of the people who got burned by the gamble? Drop your thoughts in the comments, the video, subscribe, share it around, and I'll see you on the next one.